This is the message that Brian pinned to Randy's video. Twanda, not picking on you, but didn't you say to me that I shouldn't be recording during work or at my work, and that you would fire one of your employees if they were at work recording on social media? In fact, when you thought I got fired for recording at my old job in the warehouse, you said, good for them for calling. I'm not picking on you. I just wondered where your standard is now that you watch this. I know that Randy's employer has a strict policy against that. If people are going to call me out for my alleged behavior and take that behavior public by reaching a nonprofit about my alleged behavior, well, two wrongs definitely don't make a right. My takeaway from that little message to Randy was pretty much, I know that Randy's employer has a strict policy against that. Against what, Brian? Talking on the internet? Voicing her opinion? Calling you out when you needed to be called out? So you proceed to write this message, allude to the fact that you might call Randy's job. Then you get in a screaming match, and you're never wrong. You're always right. And then you take it to the next level. Randy called you. She probably should not have done that. In hindsight, she probably would not do that again. So you record it. And then you put it on your page. Now, at first, there wasn't you didn't have you doxed her husband. Well, pretty much. He said his own name, but you went back and edited it. And then you Google searched her phone number and found out her address. Now, this is where all the coincidences start. Well, the coincidence of all this is it's like a script. It's some kind of crazy game that you're playing for whatever reason. I don't know if it's to humiliate people, to degrade people, but that's what you do. The standard that you have for being a human being, Brian, is not acceptable. It's not even in the normal range of humanness. It's below par. It's way below par. For a family to sit and have discussions about the good old days and the good old times, and your family's good old times is when you stuck your wife's face in the toilet and she threw a dirty diaper at you. The mentality of that alone, and you people thinking it's funny, that is what's wrong with you. You think it's funny. You thought it was a joke. That's a good old day. No, it's not. That's not a good old day. And talking the way you talk in front of your daughters, and yes, you asked your daughter a question. She heard your whole conversation, that disgusting conversation, like in front of, how old is she? And you're the man. That's not a man. You're supposed to represent a better human being. You are growing children who have impressionable little minds that are getting full of toxic fumes from their father. And if you think that they can't feel that negative, hateful, despicable energy that you throw off, then you're more foolish than I thought you were. And after comments that you make, throwing up emojis of watermelons is, yes, extremely of bad taste. And that's not an excuse. Your lack of manners is not an excuse. Do I believe that the circumstances that led to Randi being swatted had something to do with you? Somehow, around you, if it wasn't you, it was somebody pretty damn close to you. The coincidences, you can't write that. I'm sorry, but this is my opinion, and I don't really care what anybody thinks. I'm allowed to have my opinion. It comes to a point that the man cannot just be doing things because he feels like it. Because that he's manipulating. He's manipulating the whole situation. By coming in, he does these little videos. Example. He does these little videos. Oh, Randi and Diane, you are motherly figures. I respect you so much. Well, no, you don't. I don't think you realize what the word respect is.
Just like telling somebody, suck my dick, nigga. I'd throw up a dick, but I can't. Mangina. What's a mangina, Rich Prater?
Why does it stink so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I put your head in the toilet?
I threw a dirty diaper in.
What'd you do?
I threw a dirty diaper.
What'd you do?
I already told you.
Did you smack me in the face with the soil?
Said that my husband is trying to kill me. Is that why you're here too? Okay.
We gotta figure out where that came from first.
How do we do that?
I'll fix some microphone on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Just a second.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
My name is Randi.
Randy, I'm Brian, Sergeant Melwood Sheriff's Office. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
You know anything about what happened at all? Or?
I know I had already called the sheriff's department to warn them that this could happen.